Right now, let's talk matters logistics in Africa. And right now, I'm joined virtually by Sahil Afria, who is the CEO of ShipRaiser, a comprehensive shipping solution that caters to the diverse needs of the e-commerce businesses. Mr. Sahil, thank you very much for making time. Thank you. Actually, is joining us from South Africa. And in these conversations, we'll be keen to look at matters e-commerce and how aggregators, especially people who are able to bring different sector players in this value chain, are changing the industry and how different the Kenyan ecosystem is from the rest. This particular moment, Mr. Sahil, thank you very much for making time. For starters, just briefly tell us, what does ShipRaiser do?
Sure. Thank you. First of all, thank you so much for having me here. It's my privilege to be able to speak to all of you and to share our journey. In a nutshell, ShipRaiser is a last mile logistics aggregator for e-commerce businesses. What does it mean? It means that e-commerce started by a lot of, there are different sizes of e-commerce businesses are, like there are very smaller ones, there's medium and the larger ones. And then Kenya is full of so many small e-commerce businesses. What does it mean? Like a lot of people make things at home and they want to deliver it to their customer and they don't have really good options. They will have a lot of manual and unstructured options available there. So what ShipRaiser is able to bring it together is people who are selling online on social commerce, Facebook, Instagram, or Shopify, WooCommerce, ability to choose different courier companies on the one platform and get the live rates and ability to provide door-to-door delivery anywhere within Kenya. So this is in nutshell, very short form, is ShipRaiser is. And ShipRaiser also sends the live tracking to the end customer for them to be able to receive it. So it's a last mile logistics aggregator for e-commerce businesses.
Definitely. Very, very important. And when you talk about aggregation, what is the benefit of aggregating in an environment, as you've rightly put, where we have a lot of micro e-commerce businesses? What will this solution portend for these businesses?
This is a very good question because this is directly touches on the problem we are trying to solve. So why even aggregation exists? So the aggregation exists because there are so many things which are fragmented, right? For instance, I have a problem number one, and there is a solution number A lying somewhere there. I have a problem number two, there's a solution B lying somewhere there. So what does it mean? Like when I need to deliver, I can have a specific problem that I want to deliver something now, like I want to deliver immediately to the end customer, right? In 1 hour, 30 minutes. Then there's a different solution needed. Like you will not book DHL or what I'm saying to say is that you will not book any courier company which will deliver into tomorrow, right? You want a courier company which can deliver now. Hence the Uber, Bolt kind of model comes into the picture. So we have aggregated them as well. So, and then can be another problem that, okay, I want to deliver something from Nairobi to far away, maybe somewhere in Mombasa, Kunda, Eldoret. Then you will not need Uber. Right? You do not need a bike. You would need a courier company to deliver it. But then to really able to deliver and solve this different problem, you have to sometimes talk to this person, use this platform, talk to this person, use this platform. ShipRaiser allows you to just with few clicks access multiple courier companies and ability to deliver. So very standard courier is a very good partner of ours. They enable our last mile delivery into far rural areas, and they are really good in that. So similarly, like we have other partners who provide very specific kind of delivery needs. So this is why that there is a benefit of aggregator.
That's very important. You've brought out the issue of having options and rate comparisons, which comes in very handy, especially with micro businesses, which have to be very price sensitive in that regard. Looking at the different markets that you operate in across Africa, comparing that to Kenya, I mean, what does the future of e-commerce, especially tech innovators in the logistics value chain, how does the future look like on this continent?
This is a wonderful question because we are operating in South Africa as well. We are doing nationwide delivery within South Africa, nationwide delivery within Kenya, and we're also doing international delivery. So we do get to experience a lot of different e-commerce needs. But I want to take a step back to answer this question. So what happens in any economy when it comes to e-commerce? There are three different legs you need to make an e-commerce business successful. One, you need to make your catalog online. Like you need to have an online presence to be able to sell it, right? It can be any medium form or it can be your own website. Second thing you need is you need a payment gateway or you need a payment platform or infrastructure to be able to receive money from your buyers, right? And the third thing you need is ability to deliver on time to that end customer who's buying on your platform. So if you have any these three things missing, you will not be able to make a successful e-commerce business. Very simple logic, right? So what really happens is that first you will see there is a rise of fintech, which has happened in Kenya a lot. Is basically Kenya may be the starting point to make it happen through M-Pesa and Safaricom. So now anyone can receive payments, right? This is the first layer, right? The second layer is that okay, there are companies and tools which can make you online, Shopify, WooCommerce. There are so many local within the Kenya ecosystem. Happy to share the list separately. Then there's a logistics. So logistics always has to catch up, and the innovation in logistics is always usually left behind even in other economies. So I think this is what we are also trying to do in Kenya is that logistics should not left behind. There used to be startups like Sandy. We are trying to do things differently. We are trying to make things transparent so that merchants, people who are doing business, have flexibility and transparency of the rates to be able to choose delivery partner and so find a solution within the one ecosystem. There's one more interest interesting point which I want to mention in this, which is very specific to Kenya compared to South Africa, is cash on delivery. South Africa is not very big on cash on delivery, but Kenya is very big on cash on delivery. So what it does mean? It means you sell some like this mouse and end customer wants to pay at door, right? So paying at door is very big in Kenya, and for that we're building a solution for any small to large customer to use it, where they can tap or they can do M-Pesa on the delivery. So it's scam free. So no one really able to do a scam by changing the words of the message and saying, oh, I've already paid for it. Through the API, we will get to know whether the end customer at the door has paid it or not paid it. So scam-free cash on delivery is very interesting problem to solve, which is very specific to Kenya, not in other market. Right. Hopefully I answered your question.
Okay, and one of the interesting innovations that I've seen with also ShipRaiser is the issue of real-time shipment tracking. Now, this also, because we've touched a lot of from the business end, but from the clientele end, apart from, maybe elaborate a little bit on the issue of real-time, tracking, how important that is, and how's the uptake, how's the reaction of the market, just being able to track your order as a customer?
So we talk about value chain in every industry, right? So there is a value chain of escalation in this industry. So what will happen if the tracking is somehow not correct? The end customer will call the merchant. Oh, I ordered a mobile phone from you. Where is my mobile phone? Is escalated to that merchant. Now that merchant will call courier company or us, right? Where is my parcel? And then we also talking to our delivery partners. Oh, where is the parcel? You see, there's a value chain coming, escalation. So it's very important that end customer does not call the merchant or the seller, right? And this happens a lot if you provide. You can really solve this problem if you provide the on-time delivery and delivery tracking system, a live tracking to the end customer, in which we do. However, we trying to make it as accurate as possible on each and every day, and we are doing some technology innovation in doing that as well, so that the live tracking gets received by end customer, and end customer just click on a link and check. Anytime they want to check, they can check where their parcel is. So this is very, very important. It reduces, like it's a big pain point to solve.
Incredible. I really like that, especially for clientele, being able to track what you've ordered online, which is quite critical. Now, the economic impact, when we adopt such innovations into the value chain, especially the logistics value chain, what are the projections in regards to logistics contribution to the economy? And also, secondly, I think it will be critical for us to know in regards to this change and bringing these innovative products on board, what will that mean in regards to opportunities in an environment where we are talking about unemployment, huge unemployment rates? Will this mean that innovation is causing disruption and opening up new opportunities when it comes to, value chain and logistics specifically? Will there be some of the holes that can be brought to light where young people can take advantage of and make a living out of it? It will be critical for us to look also into that. But with that said, actually, thank you very much, sir, for joining us back. The issue about the impact, the economic impact of bringing this disruption in the logistics value chain. What does that look like? Are there projections in regards to what logistics is contributing currently in the economy? And with such disruptions, what are the projections towards the economy?
Thank you so much. So, logistics is not going to go anywhere. Logistics is usually and always the backbone of economy. Uh, we as a human being, we need to consume products. We need to eat things. We need for everything we do. We need some product to sleep. We need a bed to walk, to go outside. We need a vehicle. Everything for no matter what we do, we need some sort of product, and all those product gets reaches to us as in the whole value chain is through logistics. So without logistics, economy for sure does not exist, and it is not going to go away. However, logistics as a whole is always going to go up. It will always be catching up with the rise of e-commerce as a market. So if you want to see the trend in the logistics innovation at the macro level, you have to see the trend as a rise of e-commerce businesses, as rise of payment gateways. Those are the right parameters to really look in terms of these kind of logistics. So logistics can you also divide into two segments: B2C deliveries and B2B deliveries, which are bulk deliveries. So those are very separate. We're talking about a lot of B2C deliveries. And I think Kenya is at a tipping point in terms of macroeconomy where it will be huge growth and huge innovation would be needed. And there are a lot of courier companies who are not very transparent with their pricing. There are a lot of courier companies who give different pricing to different customers. We want to provide the transparency there, and once it's there, it will give rise to the demand and the supply, and it will give rise to the macroeconomics. In terms of numbers, I'm so sorry, I'm not really aware of it, but we estimated e-commerce market to be around $6 billion and growing up in Kenya. And hopefully we play a good role or big part in that market size.
All right, and before I let you go, Sahil, we are looking at the policy environment, especially operating in different markets across Africa. In Kenya specifically, as a business, do you think there are areas policy-wise that we can tweak to empower the logistics sector or make it more efficient?
Very good question. Thank you so much. Regarding policy side, one thing like Kenya is already good. It's not there are not many policies which are going against. Of course, you will find problems when you're sending a truck from Mombasa to Nairobi, and let's say someone stops in between. A lot of things can happen. So if there is right documents, things will move fast. So I think from my side, in fact, I'm quite happy in terms of the policy which already exists in terms of the logistics. However, I do feel where Kenya can do something around policies is around startups, is the upcoming new startups. How Kenyan policy, whether it's the finance related policies, whether it's any around a startup, a business to function and grow, how Kenya can support Kenya government can support the startup ecosystem. And we can take examples around the world, US, India. In India, there's a policy called Startup India. There's just so many benefits, tax benefits, other benefits are for startups because they need those kind of love and support in the beginning so that they can focus on innovation and not on a basic admin. You know what I mean? So I think that's where probably Kenya can focus on. That's my opinion.
Sahil Afria is the CEO of Shipreza, and saying that aggregation is the way to go. Technology is disruptive, and the logistics sector has a potential to even actually bring a change economically, create employment, but most importantly, empower majority of businesses, which we've seen a lot of movement towards the e-commerce side. How do you empower these small businesses? Is value chain in logistics, strengthen that, and in turn, you are strengthening these businesses. That's where we'll put a full stop on Business Today. Thank you very much for joining with us. I'm Noakib Kemboy. Up next, we have the KTN. Stay tuned.